I hate to say it, but Xbox's situation has somehow gotten even worse. What started as confusion and mixed messaging has now turned into full-blown panic, with multiple new leaks painting a bleak picture of where Microsoft plans to take Xbox next. Now, several reliable leakers are saying the quiet part out loud. 2026 might be the year Microsoft finally pulls the plug. So today we're breaking down 4 massive new leaks about the future of Xbox and why they've left so many players worried. Number 1, the guaranteed new Xbox is now up in the air. Remember when Sarah Bond confidently told everyone the next Xbox console was 100% guaranteed and would be the biggest generational leap ever?
And we're also invested in the next generation roadmap. And what we're really focused on there is delivering the largest technical leap you will have ever seen in a hardware generation, which makes it better for players and better for creators and the visions that they're building.
To co-engineer silicon across a portfolio of devices, including our next generation Xbox consoles, in your living room and in your hands. Together with AMD, we are advancing the state of art in gaming silicon to deliver the next generation of graphics innovation, to unlock a deeper level of visual quality and immersive gameplay and player experiences enhanced with the power of AI, all while maintaining compatibility with your existing library of Xbox games.
Yeah, apparently that's no longer the case. According to Sneaker So, the same leaker who correctly revealed Xbox's multi-platform shift months before it was announced, those next-gen plans have now been put up in the air. He says Microsoft's big gamble to justify its Activision Blizzard purchase, putting Call of Duty onto Game Pass, has completely backfired. Instead of the huge subscriber growth they expected, it's reportedly caused sales losses, cancellations and churn, costing the company hundreds of millions of dollars. Internally, confidence in Xbox hardware has collapsed, and the 2026 console roadmap is no longer certain. And honestly, it boggles my mind that Xbox keep doing this to itself. They actively push players to use anything but an Xbox console, then wonder why the hardware isn't selling. Make it make sense, Xbox. Is this intentional? How can a company with so much money be this clueless? I really don't know anymore, and this is where other commentators start backing it up. Tim Dog, who has been one of Xbox's biggest supporters, tweeted that Microsoft is going full third party, that there will be no silicon made, and that they're cutting their losses now. Meanwhile, over on Installbase, another reliable leaker, simply known as Matt, added his voice to the same topic, saying, without going into specifics, this isn't nonsense. That kills any hope of a third-party Xbox hybrid device. This was something a lot of people had been mentioning as the possible saviour of Xbox, a kind of Xbox PC hybrid console. Well, that seems dead in the water too now. When you put it all together, the failed Game Pass gamble, the collapsing hardware plans, and the lack of industry confidence, it feels like Xbox's next console might not just be delayed, it might never happen at all. Now, Jez Gordon from Windows Central has come out with an article saying no, Xbox next gen console hardware plans are not cancelled for now, which sounds kind of ominous. And then Microsoft actually reached out to them with an update, which, we didn't hear from Phil Spencer or Sarah Bond, which you think we maybe would, given the kind of meltdown that seems to be going on around this. But what we got was just a tiny little snippet of an update saying Microsoft has provided the following statement, echoing our previous report. We are actively investing in our future first-party consoles and devices designed, engineered and built by Xbox. For more details, the community can revisit our agreement announcement with AMD. Not inspiring a lot of confidence, any of this, is it? Because, first off, Jez Gordon has basically came out to refute Sneaker So, or Sneaker SO, however you want to say it, refute their leak that hardware is up in the air and probably not happening anymore. Now, this isn't the first time Jez Gordon has done this. He did this previously when Sneaker SO announced that Xbox was going, multi-platform and all their exclusives were going to go to PlayStation. And then Jez came out with this tweet responding to that saying, no, Xbox isn't porting its console exclusives to PlayStation. It's just hard hopium from fanboys. And Jez was 100% wrong, as we know there. So this isn't inspiring much confidence. And also the update which Microsoft have provided him. How many times has Microsoft said black and then done white?
So we made the decision that we're going to take 4 games to the other consoles, just 4 games, not a change to our kind of fundamental exclusive strategy.
Can we say if either of those titles are Starfield or Indiana Jones?
They are not Starfield or Indiana Jones.
I mean, can we trust them at this point? I seriously put more trust and more faith in leakers like Sneaker SO than anything we get from Microsoft leadership these days. But the big question is, who do you trust more these days? Do you trust Microsoft and Xbox, the messaging they are telling us, or do you trust what the leakers are saying? And I guess we have eyes, just what we can see, what is going on in the industry with Xbox in general. Let me know in the comments. Number 2, there's more massive layoffs on the way. You know, as if this wasn't bad enough, it looks like Xbox is gearing up for another brutal round of layoffs. And this one could be huge. According to Sneaker So, Microsoft is planning another wave of cuts in early 2026, and it is expected to be as large as the last one, around 9,000 employees. That's not a small restructuring. Well, I guess maybe for Microsoft it might be because how huge their company is, but that's just another gut punch to the gaming division, which is already bleeding talent. And honestly, it's shocking when you think about who's behind it. We're not talking about a struggling business here. This is Microsoft, one of the richest companies in the world, worth nearly $3 trillion, not $3 billion, $3 trillion, and pulling in record profits from divisions like Azure, Office, and all their AI investments. So how does a company that successful justify its, gouging and gutting its gaming workforce again? It's not about survival, it's about shareholders. Xbox has become a numbers game. Not about games, not about players, just about optics. Its growth isn't fast enough for them, they cut it. If something isn't instantly profitable, they shut it down. And instead of fixing their leadership problems or actually supporting their studios, they're trimming, the teams that built what little goodwill Xbox has left. It's hard to see this as anything but just poor mismanagement, because Xbox shouldn't even be in this position. They had the studios, they had the money, and they had the time, but between constant strategy flip-flops and a total lack of vision from leadership, they've managed to alienate both developers and fans. For all the people losing their jobs, the artists, the programmers, the producers, this isn't just a headline, it's their livelihoods, their families, their careers, and all because a $1 trillion company couldn't decide what it wanted Xbox to be. It's a really poor show from Microsoft. Frankly, it's embarrassing. The greed is just wild. Which leads us on to number 3, retailers walking away. Well, when you start seeing major retailers quietly back away from your product, that's when you know the confidence has gone. It started with Costco, who confirmed they'd stopped selling Xbox consoles completely, calling it a business decision. Now, I don't know about you, but that's corporate speak for it's not selling well enough. But here's the thing, Sneaker So actually predicted this exact scenario. He warned that once one major partner dropped Xbox, others would follow. And he's been proven right already, because now Sam's Club has joined in. clearing out Xbox consoles at prices that scream, we're done. The Xbox Series S has been spotted for as low as $179 and the Series X for $279. That's actually a bargain. If you see one of these for that price, pick it up. It really is. These aren't discounts. That is clearance pricing. And when two of America's biggest retailers start doing this, pretty close to each other back to back, it's not coincidence. It's got to be a big signal here. It tells you retailers are losing faith in Xbox hardware. And honestly, who can blame them? If Microsoft's own leadership don't believe in their consoles anymore, why should the people trying to sell them? If this domino effect continues, and I think it might, we could see, other big stores like Walmart, Target, or Best Buy quietly following suit. It's something we need to watch closely in the coming months. And I don't know about you guys and gals, but if you do go into any of your stores to pick up games, whenever I go in, there's a good presence of PlayStation games, a good presence of Switch games, and there's literally one or two Xbox games. It's just a sad state of affairs what Microsoft has just pushed Xbox to be. It's just out of mind, out of sight in stores, so it's just another win for all the competition. And on to number 4, which kind of is a reason why we don't see Xbox in stores really, which is when we come to Game Pass. The one thing Xbox has kind of built its whole future around, according to Sneaker Soul. Even the big move to put Call of Duty on Game Pass hasn't worked out the way Microsoft hoped. It reportedly cost them hundreds of millions, and now rather than fixing the problem, they're planning to make the service more expensive. More Game Pass price hikes are on the way. Yes, you heard that right. After already jumping by 50% this year, or just in the past week or so, Microsoft apparently still isn't finished. And honestly, how can they justify that? It's the same trap every subscription service, falls into. They pull you in with a good deal and then the prices just keep on climbing. That is the problem with all of these rental or access models. You don't actually own anything. You're just renting games, and one day they'll either vanish from the library or you'll be paying double to play the same stuff you already had. Oh, and by the way, Microsoft is already testing an ad-supported free tier of Xbox Cloud Gaming, because nothing says next-gen vision like watching commercials just to play games via the cloud for an hour. What is going on, by the way? Even their timing for this is just shocking. This is exactly why I always say, buy your games physically, you own them, you can play them whenever you want, and nobody can take them away or charge you more next year just to keep playing them. Now, when you step back and look at everything together, it's hard not to feel like we're witnessing the collapse of a brand that used to really mean something. The next gen Xbox is up in the air. Thousands more layoffs are on the horizon. I really hope that doesn't happen. That's just terrible news. Retailers are walking away from selling Xbox consoles and games. And now Xbox Game Pass, the thing that was supposed to save Xbox, is slowly tearing Xbox apart from the inside. If these leaks are true, the Xbox we once know is well and truly finished. And that's not just bad for Xbox and Xbox gamers, it's bad for PlayStation and bad for Switch 2 also. We need competition in this industry, because when one company dominates, everyone gets lazy and innovation fades and prices actually go up even quicker. If there's no competition and there's only one player in town, they'll just charge whatever they like. We don't want that future, people, seriously. Honestly, I'd love to see Sega even rise from the ashes and launch a console again. A true Phoenix moment here. That would be absolutely awesome. Or maybe Steam steps in and, takes Xbox's place in the living room. I can see this happening, just like they beat them to the handheld market with the Steam Deck. Once Microsoft exits, you'll have a Steam Deck type device console for your living room. At this rate, they're about to outplay Microsoft again. Watch this space. And as someone who's been with Xbox from the 360 era, this is just all heartbreaking news. That generation of Xbox was so confident, creative, and competitive. It had character, soul, and most importantly, exclusives. They need to bring back that only on Xbox sticker and stop giving away the one thing that actually matters and can give them an advantage. They're exclusive games. They've finally got good games, on the way, and have been delivering some good games recently. They should be on Xbox only. Because no matter what anyone says, it's all about exclusives. That's how Sony and Nintendo have been so successful. It's why Netflix and Amazon spend billions on original programming. People subscribe because they can't get that content anywhere else. The smart move would have been to scrap Game Pass, not their consoles. They could have rebuilt the Xbox brand around great exclusives, strong hardware, and a clear identity. Instead, Microsoft turned Xbox into a spreadsheet. They're not fighting for players anymore, they're chasing recurring revenue, and while that might please shareholders in the short term, it's going to cost them the fans who made Xbox special in the first place. Xbox needs to get its act together, or sell to someone who will take it seriously, and maybe, just like Windows Phone, this will be another decision Microsoft ends up regretting for years to come. If you want to see how we got to this point, check out my last video, it explains everything.